The rain was falling so hard it looked like the sky itself was breaking. Cars slid across the base parking lot, soldiers rushed under shelters, and alarms echoed faintly in the distance. But in the middle of that chaos, a small figure pushed against the wind, a little girl, barely 7, clutching a broken umbrella that kept flipping backward. And right behind her, drenched from head to toe, was her father, the quiet single dad janitor nobody ever noticed. That's when it happened. A black sedan skidded near a flooded curb, tires screaming. The doors wouldn't open. Somebody inside was stuck, someone important. Soldiers yelled, pushing back the water, trying to pry the jammed door loose. Then the janitor saw her, inside the car, coughing from smoke and trapped by a crushed frame. The Navy Admiral. The one whose face everyone recognized but whose life nobody actually knew. And that's where this story begins. Before we continue, if you're watching this, make sure to like the video and subscribe because what happens next will make you believe in destiny again. The janitor's name was Rafiq, a man who worked double shifts, slept 4 hours a night, and still made time to braid his daughter Hina's hair every morning. He didn't have medals or ranks. He didn't have wealth. But he had something rare, a heart that simply wouldn't allow him to look away when someone was in danger. He handed Hina his soaked jacket. "Stay here, princess. Don't move." "But Papa, don't move." Then he ran into the rain. He waded through the rising water, ignoring the sting of the storm slashing across his face. Soldiers yelled at him to stay back, but Rafiq wasn't listening. He put both hands under the crushed door and lifted with everything he had left inside him. His arms shook violently. The metal screamed. But inch by inch, the door began to rise. The Admiral's eyes widened from the smoke-filled interior. You're the janitor from the training hall." "Yes, ma'am," he grunted, "but today, I'm just someone who's not letting you die." With a final surge, he freed the door and pulled her out. The moment her feet touched the ground, she collapsed against him. And the base went silent. Hours later, after the chaos cleared, the Admiral Eva Hall, asked for Rafiq personally. Soldiers looked stunned. Admirals didn't ask for janitors. She found him sitting on a bench outside the medical bay, Hina asleep in his lap, still wrapped in his wet jacket. "You saved my life," she said softly. Rafiq shook his head. "Anyone would have done it." "No," she replied. "No, they wouldn't." There was something in her eyes, a mixture of gratitude and something heavier. A burden she had carried for too long. "Let me at least drive you home," she insisted. But Rafiq refused. He didn't want favors. He didn't want attention. He didn't want power or reward. He just wanted a quiet life with his daughter. So he bowed respectfully and walked away into the night. The Admiral watched them disappear into the darkness, and something in her heart shifted. 3 days passed. She couldn't sleep. Every time she closed her eyes, she saw that man lifting the crushed steel with his bare hands. She saw the little girl in the rain. She heard the faint tremble in Rafiq's voice when he said, "Anyone would have done it." But most of all, she saw something she thought she'd lost long ago: hope. The Admiral had everything: rank, respect, a decorated career. But she had no family left. Her house was cold. Her life was quiet. And ever since losing her husband 2 years ago, she carried a loneliness that medals couldn't cover. That's why, when she heard a knock on her door one stormy evening, her heart skipped. She wasn't expecting anyone. When she opened it, she froze. Standing outside, soaking wet again, holding a small tin box to his chest, was Rafiq. And next to him, smiling shyly, was Hina. "I'm sorry to come unannounced," he said nervously. "But Hina insisted on thanking you for giving her that warm blanket at the base. She said she wants to return it so you don't get in trouble." The Admiral stared, stunned. She had given the girl a blanket without a second thought. She never imagined they would return it. Hina extended the folded blanket with her tiny hands. "Thank you, Auntie Officer," she whispered. The Admiral sank to her knees, tears rising out of nowhere. No one had called her Auntie in years. No one had looked at her with such innocent warmth since her husband passed. She hugged the girl gently, afraid she might break. Then she looked up at Rafiq. "You didn't have to come all this way." "I know," he said quietly. "But I teach her to return kindness with kindness." "Come inside," she said softly. "Please." That night changed everything. The house was always silent, until Rafiq and Hina entered. Suddenly, it felt alive. Hina wandered around, fascinated by the Admiral's medals and models of ships. Rafik apologized 100 times whenever she touched something. The Admiral laughed for the first time in months. They talked about life, duty, loss, struggle. And somewhere in that long stormy evening, something unspoken passed between them. Respect, connection, warmth, a feeling neither expected, but both needed. Before he left, Rafik handed her the tin box. "I don't know why," he said shyly, "but I felt I should give this to you." Inside was a small wooden carving, an anchor with wings. "I made it," he added softly. "When my wife was sick, I carved things to keep my hands busy. This one meant strength. Maybe you could keep it." The Admiral held it like it was gold. No metal she'd ever earned felt as precious. Weeks passed. The Admiral found herself looking for them around the base. Hina would wave excitedly whenever she saw her. Rafik would smile politely, trying to stay invisible. But he wasn't invisible anymore. Not to her. One morning, she learned something that shocked her. Rafik was about to be removed from the base due to budget cuts. Her blood boiled. She stormed into the board meeting and slammed a file on the table. "This man saved my life," she said, voice trembling with rage. "And you want to fire him? Over numbers on a paper. Admiral. He's a father. A protector. A hero. And as long as I am in command, he stays." Silence. The decision was reversed. But she wasn't done. The next day, she walked to the janitor's storage room where Rafik was mopping the floor. "I need to talk to you," she said. He turned, confused. She handed him a sealed envelope. "What is this?" "Your new assignment," she replied. "Head of Facilities Training. Better pay. Better hours. More respect." He looked stunned. "Admiral, I can't accept this." "You're not accepting it," she said firmly. "You earned it." Then Hina ran in, hugging the Admiral's leg. "Auntie, guess what? Papa said you're like our angel." The Admiral's eyes filled instantly. Something in her heart broke. And healed. In the same moment. Months passed. Their connection deepened. Slow. Real. Natural. A family was forming, without anyone saying it aloud. Until one evening. The same kind of rainy evening when they first met. There was a knock at the Admiral's door. She opened it. This time, Rafik wasn't holding a tin box. He was holding flowers. Nervously. "Admiral Hall," he said quietly, "I don't know if this is appropriate. But Hina says we're her team now. And I don't want to spend another evening without at least telling you that your kindness brought my family back to life." She stepped forward, placed her hand gently on his. "And you," she whispered, "brought mine back." Behind them, Hina cheered loudly, "Papa likes Auntie. Auntie likes Papa." And for the first time in a very long time, the Admiral laughed with her whole heart. The rain outside kept falling, but inside that home, something brighter took its place, a warmth that would only grow stronger with time. A hero who never wore a uniform. A leader who finally found someone who saw the real her. And a little girl who connected two broken worlds into one beautiful family. If you're still watching, let this story remind you. Real heroes don't need ranks. Real kindness doesn't need permission. And sometimes, the knock you never expected is the one that changes your life forever. Like the video, subscribe to the channel, and stay tuned for more stories that touch the heart.